The name and the spirit are inseparable. And most everything has a name except the falling snow, by which I mean each flake, each one different, as one spirit is different from another, and close up, under a microscope, crystalline like a thing made by a master watchmaker with a motor the size of a fingernail or an awl as fine as hair. Sillier men than I have tried to name the flakes of snow while standing hatless at a bus stop. From where comes the human urge to name each thing? Each man and each woman, as though we're not all the same things repeated endlessly. The human race. Did you know that among the ancient Hebrew tribes, children were given two names at birth, one sacred, one profane? The child wasn't told the sacred one, so he walked around with two names, one by which to be called in from the sheepfold, and the other intricate, mysterious, useless like the snow. And in Norway, circa early 20th century, there were so few hereditary names to pass down, everyone must have thought everyone else a cousin. Maybe that's why they're so polite, so orderly. That's why if it's snowing in Oslo, there will always be a helpful soul standing beside you to offer space the size of an umbrella while waiting for the bus. In America, a name means nothing, a marker to be called in, a convenience. You can look up an old lost acquaintance in a phone directory while passing through a city, but until you call him up, he's only the name without the spirit. And his name won't tell us anything about what he does with his days. Mr. Weaver at his loom, Mr. Lavender who makes soap, or how he looks, Senor Roja for the color of his beard, or Mr. Gross, the fat man who stood in line waiting for the greedy minions of the fantastic Empress Marla Teresa to take his money and bestow upon him a name to be passed down to fat and skinny children alike. Or if he were even poorer, and as a mean joke, to be called the German equivalent of grease, or monkey weed, or do not borrow from, or gallows rope. In Russia in 1802, to raise an army, Tsar Alexander sent out a ukase ordering each Jew to take a last name. Like writing a poem, mind sprung and wholly inspired on first draft, then inscribing it on the forehead of a neighbor, each one befitting. Isaac, he who laughs, or Mazal, lucky man, or Trubnik, for chimney sweep, or Soroka, the magpie, meaning the gossip. Babies in those days were sometimes given ugly names to turn aside the assiduous, bureaucratic angel of death. Or in illness, a child was renamed to befuddle the same angel coming down with his empty sack to collect for God's heavens. But naming the snow, each flake, each delinquencing cryptic coat of arms, that would be a game for only the most inventive, hopeless man. For after all, the snowflakes are the soon-to-be dead, those who float a while, then fall, and, merging, pile up like corpses on some northern battlefield, and there melt, flow down as water to the river that has only one name. It so happens it's snowing where I'm standing now, at a bus stop in Oslo, between one moment and the next, feeling nostalgic, homesick, trying to remember the names of everyone I've ever known. Hopeless, of course. So to name is only duty, and is also good. So it worries me that my son, who is more like me than I care to think about, and who bears my last name, could recite the names of each child in his kindergarten class after only 1 week of sitting with hands folded on his desk. He wasn't praying, he told me. He was waiting for the names to sink in, so one morning he could say, suddenly, to each one, "Hi," because it's good to be remembered by anyone, for the name and the spirit are inseparable. By the time we are old, we have known so many people by name we could baptize each flake of falling snow while waiting for the bus. They grew away from me. They became snow, fuzzy at this distance, just beyond my reach, waiting to be called upon again. Onomastics and the Falling Snow by Steve Orlen.